What is up? We're going to talk about something that we've been talking about for decades. We're going to talk about something that is true. It is undeniable, yet for some reason, we keep having to discuss it. Why are Black politicians, many of whom are only in the position they are in because of the support that they get from the Black American populace, all of a sudden hyper-focused on defending, protecting, and passing legislation to protect illegal immigrant criminal aliens who not only are not citizens of this country, but also have no voting power whatsoever? I could understand this situation if the illegal immigrants actually carried the vote, and maybe there was some weird law where even though you were not here legally, you could still vote. And that would help me understand why a politician would need to cater to this group or advocate for this group. But there is no law like that in the United States of America. It is literally representatives voted in by legal American citizens, and those legal American citizens should thus be their priority. Please help me understand, if you are able to, why Black politicians who primarily are voted in by the Black American voter are all of a sudden prioritizing illegal criminal alien immigrants who not only hurt Americans, but ultimately have no real respect for this country and are simply here to pilfer whatever they can from the American economy. We're going to start with our first Black politician, I would say Black elected politician, and that is none other than Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. For whatever reason, Brandon Johnson has decided it would be wise and beneficial to his mayoral reign to go into the streets of Chicago, the streets that where he allowed millions of immigrants or thousands of illegal immigrants to flood, and get in the street to march with what I can see looks like Hispanics. Those might be his security, those Black dudes behind him, and basically people who are advocating for illegal criminal aliens to be allowed to stay in this country illegally after breaking the laws and breaking many other laws. But for whatever reason, Brandon Johnson thinks that this is a good idea. He thinks that this is something that's going to help him for some reason. But this gives us our first clue as to why Black American politicians are suddenly pandering to illegal aliens who have no power to vote them in or out of office.
¡Aprende! ¡El pueblo se defiende! ¡Aprende! ¡El pueblo se defiende! ¡La migra porquería!
You got to go behind them now.
Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Say it once and say it twice! ¡Aprende! ¡El pueblo se defiende! ¡Aprende! ¡El pueblo!
Okay, so not only does Brandon Johnson go into the streets and basically declare himself in opposition to the lawful, legally vetted agents of ICE on behalf of illegal criminal aliens, he goes a step further in an attempt to basically harm federal agents by saying that he is going to try to bring charges against federal agents for simply doing their job. You cannot make this up. I mean, you could make a movie about this, and people would not believe that it's based on reality. People would not believe that this is based on fact. the mayor of a major American city, right, has now placed himself in direct opposition to the American government. And if you know anything about politics, the American people are her government. So you're American. I'm American. We are the government of America, a government of the people. So the mayor of Chicago has placed himself in direct opposition to you and me and said, nah, I'm going to go and get on the side of a bunch of illegal criminals who harmed the citizens of his city repeatedly, murdering them, raping them, killing them. And for whatever reason, this guy's like, nah, that's whose side I want to be on. I keep telling you guys, Democrats don't give a damn about the people. They vote for them. They sure as hell don't give a damn about the people who vote against them. The only thing they care about is the acquisition of power. They will lie to you as much as they need to lie to you. They will take whatever side they need to take at the moment in an effort to gain power. But at the end of the day, they are only loyal to themselves and the furtherance of the Democrat Party. And I don't know about you, but I don't know why anyone will support a party like that. Let's go here. Now he's trying to sign legislation to harm ICE agents.
We need to send a clear message. If the federal government will not hold these rogue actors accountable, then Chicago will do everything in our power to bring these agents to justice. Yes. As part of this order, our police department will document ICE and Border Patrol activity and attempt to identify officers on the scene. This evidence will then be...
So he's going to document ICE and Border Patrol activity, but he sure as hell couldn't document the illegal immigrants who came to his city, and he sure as hell couldn't document their activity. Which leads me to another point. Everything they claimed they couldn't do, they actually could do. They simply didn't want to do it because doing it would not have been beneficial to their cause. That's the reality. African-American people, you could say whatever you want, but there's no way on earth you're going to be able to justify this. The only thing you can do is do what Amos is trying to do in the comments. MAGA also has no concern or respect for anyone watching this crap show. Well, yeah, but at least MAGA's not trying to replace the people in the country with illegal immigrants. You can say anything you want about MAGA as a deflection onto away from what's going on with the black Democrat politicians in these major cities. But I'm going to prove that Amos Kalumba is a liar, 100%. He's not only a liar, he has to sympathize with illegal immigrants because look at his last name, Kalumba. So he feels like there's some type of common blood between them. He doesn't care about the laws of America. Damn America in his mind. That person has a similar last name to me. I recognize their struggle because my great granny came as an illegal, but she probably didn't come in as illegal. She probably came as a legal immigrant, and he's tarnishing her legacy by sitting up doing exactly what she didn't, by basically advocating for people who are doing exactly what she didn't do, what she refused to do, which is to come into this country illegally. Kalumba, you don't know if you're coming or going. Let's keep going as Democrats prove to you that they can hold people accountable. They just don't want to because they don't give a damn about your safety.
Preserved, and at the direction of my office will be referred to the state's attorney's office for potential prosecution. The Trump administration has made it clear that they do intend to return to our city in force in the coming spring. This order is a step towards making sure that Chicago is prepared. We will continue to learn from and work with other cities across the country as we all confront this moment. Finally, as Dr. King predicted more than 60 years ago, Chicago can serve as a model of nonviolent resistance that has...
Here we go. Always got to throw Dr. King in there. Oh, as Dr. King said, as Dr. King. Bro, Dr. King has nothing to do with illegal immigration. Dr. King has nothing to do with a black mayor purposely attempting to displace black Chicagoans with illegal Venezuelan criminal aliens, which in no way benefited anyone in the city. It only benefited the electoral campaign of him and the other Hispanics who sit in the city council of Chicago. That is it. I've never seen a situation in my life where you have politicians who so blatantly show the people who vote for them, hey, we're not worried about you. We're here simply to figure out ways to stay here. The Democrat Party at this point has zero concern for the improvement of the lives of the people who vote for them, the safety of the city, the continued economic prosperity of the city. They are literally like, look, whatever I have to do to keep a Democrat in this seat, that is what I'm going to do. And it's working. Look at the situation in California, in Oakland. Oakland just got rid of a corrupt Asian Democrat mayor who stole millions, embezzled millions from the city. What did they do who did they get to replace her? She was a Democrat, by the way. They just replaced her with a black woman who is a Democrat, who is absolutely Looney Tunes, who is involved in the same costly and destructive socialist policies as the Asian mayor was. Black people are stuck in a perpetual loop of destructive political action where they're literally swapping out Democrats as fast as they can and refusing to accept the reality, which is that it doesn't matter which Democrats you put in place because all the Democrats have agreed to fall in line under the order of the DNC. And the DNC is telling them right now, every single thing we do as Democrats is being done for one reason: the retention of power. And even as they lose power, they continue to stick to their guns when it comes to this failed agenda. Now, will they take some seats back? Of course they will, because you got people who are emotional. So the Democrats are now engaged in, because they know this type of crap won't work, what Brandon Johnson is doing. It just backfires. So now they're throwing you out this message of affordability. We're going to give you free stuff. We're going to steal from the rich and give to the poor. They're Robin Hood now, right? But guess what? The more you continue to watch how this plays out, they're not Robin Hood. Look at the situation in Virginia with Spamberger, how she preached affordability. And as soon as she got into office, what are they talking about now? Oh, we're raising everybody's taxes. Why? Because money is the way you stay in power in American politics. So they say, look, we're not going to bet on the voter. We're not going to bet on the voter choosing us as the best candidates to run this country. We're going to bet on our ability to alienate and exclude every other party from the vote, and then on our ability to basically buy elections. It's really sad. It's truly pathetic, and why people keep supporting it is beyond me.
The power to arouse the conscience of the nation. And so today, we see a full manifestation of the consciousness of our nation coming to life by way of the greatest city in the world, the city of Chicago.
Right, the greatest city in the world that nobody wants to live in. Everybody's leaving because this guy's policies have destroyed the city. So, but instead of working to implement better policies, instead what he's going to do is he's going to say, to stay in power, I'm just going to replace the voter base. I'm going to get rid of all the people I screwed over, bring in a bunch of illegal immigrants, let them help get them to the point where they can illegally vote, and they should be enough, and that should be enough to keep me in position. Literally pandering to people who are not even citizens of this country. What do you guys think about that in the comments? Am I right? Am I wrong? Or I'm full of crap? I'll react to that for sure. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I full of crap? Is Amos Kalumba right? Well, MAGA, what is MAGA doing to Black Americans? Can anyone, even in the comments, tell me, what is MAGA doing to Black Americans? I don't see any Black, other than giving them well-paying jobs, deporting illegal immigrants. MAGA is creating jobs for the black man and woman. But you got the black politicians who black people voted for betraying them and telling them, hey, if you're really black, you got to support these illegal immigrants. And it doesn't matter if they come into your neighborhood, make your rent go high as hell. It doesn't matter if they come in there and call you the N-word and all this mess. Oh, that doesn't matter, because we have to stand in solidarity with them because Dr. King, Martin Luther King, is dead. And and only if he were alive would we be able to determine what his sentiments about this situation is. But one thing I know about Martin Luther King, as much as I don't like him, Martin Luther King wasn't no damn fool. I never heard Martin Luther King say, well, the black man needs to give up his position in this country to another group of people just because it's the right thing to do. I never heard Martin Luther King say that. So why are politicians coming to you basically conveying that exact message? You need to allow this group to replace you. You need to let them come in, take your jobs, take over your neighborhoods. You need to allow them to come in, have babies while you abort your babies, because it's the right humanitarian thing to do. I've never known a single humanitarian who was like, I'm going to destroy myself so that you can thrive and prosper. And in order for that to be the truth, you're going to have to show me where in the world the Hispanics or the Asians, any of those groups, are doing the same on behalf of black people. What Hispanic country is telling its people, we need to let all these blacks in the country to replace us because it's the right and humanitarian thing to do? Help me understand that. When I see that, I'll say that the Democrats are right. Find me one Hispanic country on earth where they are preaching to their people, we need to allow an influx of black people into this country to replace us and take advantage of our resources because it's the right thing to do. There is only one word you need to understand that sums up all this and tells you what side you need to fall down on. That word is reciprocity. Are they returning what they are being given by the African-American voter? Or at least the African-American politician? Hell no, they're not. Hell no, they're not. And you know they're not. I know they're not. And that's why somebody like Amos Kalumba, even the fact that he would try to defend this nonsense by deflecting onto MAGA, onto Trump, is disgusting. Trump is getting the illegals out. As much as you are black, and you might hate Donald Trump to the core. As much as you are black and may hate Donald Trump with your soul, one thing you must admit, Donald Trump is eliminating, or at least attempting to eliminate, a very serious threat to the black community in America. And how do we know that the illegal immigrant is a very real threat to black America? Well, none other than Barack Obama did a study in 2010 when he was president about the impact of illegal immigration. Wait, let me say that again. Barack Obama did a study on the impact of illegal immigration on American communities. And that study determined that illegal immigration had the greatest disproportionately negative impact on the black American community out of every other group. So if you black, I'm black, we's black, why on earth would we's, I'm gonna say it like slave time, why would we's be out here advocating to bring illegal immigrants into the country? Barack Obama himself. The one thing I will tell you that I hate Obama, but the one thing I will tell you where if I met Obama, I would have to shake his hand, is he made it clear through a presidential order for a study to be made. Black man, black woman, black child. Illegal immigration disproportionately impacts you specifically in a totally negative way. So now that that's a fact, this is the fact where we put facts over feelings. Tell me what emotional argument any black person advocating for this shit can tell you or give you that would make you say, well, yeah, I should let them come in and take away from me. I should let them come in and take opportunities from my children. I should let them come in and overcrowd the schools my kids got to go to. I should let them come in and hit people on the road without a license and drive up my insurance rates. Come where I live to California. I'm in Africa right now, but come to where I live in California. Do you know that auto insurance companies are abandoning the state of California? Why? Because of the high level of auto accidents. And you want me to tell you what's contributing to that? Illegal immigrant drivers and even legal immigrant drivers, but they're legal, so there's not much we can do about that. But illegal immigrant drivers hitting people and running the claims for where you file a claim, but you don't have a person to file it against because they didn't hit you and ran. Those are going up higher in California because these illegals, they hit you and they keep on going. They don't even think about you. They don't stop. They don't do what normal human beings do. If you hit somebody, normal people stop and say, hey, are you okay? Here's my insurance. Do you need me to call an ambulance? Not these animals. They hit you, kill up 2-3 people in a car, and then try to drive off. I'm not even joking. I'll tell you, if you've been watching this channel long enough, I was on this channel. I chased down one of those illegal bastards after he hit a man in the street with his baby. This is a true story. I swear, oh God, this is a true story. There was an illegal criminal animal in my city, Long Beach, California. The street was 7th Street and 7th and Olive. It was 7th and Olive, I want to say. Black man, walking across the street with his newborn baby. The illegal animal hits the corner going like 50. Hits the dude, baby flies up in the air. Baby hit the ground. The people sitting on the bus stop, there was a bunch of bums. They run to the street. They grab the baby. Oh my God. They're asking the dude, he's okay. Man, I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this shit ride. I chased that bastard. Till he couldn't run anymore because he was on E. He was running out of gas. I chased that bastard. I said, dude, listen, you got 2 choices. I'm going to shoot your ass or you're going to drive yourself back to the scene where you hit that man and his baby. That nigga drove back to the scene. And you know what was crazy? He had 3 of his kids in the car. So he's in the car with his kids. He's illegal. He hits a man going through the crosswalk legally with his car. Goes on a high-speed chase with me through the east side of Long Beach. And I ended up making him turn his own ass back in. I said, dude, you got 2 choices. We was in the hood too. But guess what? They'll never mention that. If I had not witnessed that myself, and if you've been watching this channel, you know this story is true. If I had not witnessed that myself, and I was able to communicate that to you, you would never know. So just do the process of elimination in your own mind. How much more shit are these illegals doing than we hear about on the news that's being covered up by the local politicians? And even law enforcement covers up for them. These people are invading the country. They're invading the black community. They're hurting the country. And especially based on Obama's report, they are especially hurting the black community. Why would you continue to support politicians that allow that? They don't just allow it, they want it to happen. Because every time you look around, they're giving illegal immigrant communities more respect and more attention than they're giving these black communities. And these people can't even vote for them. I'm going to click to this other video because now you got to have the white man in Chicago or in Illinois come against Brandon Johnson to let him know that he's out of line. Not a single black person stood up to Brandon Johnson for the bullshit he's doing. It took a white man. Actually, let me stop that. We got our sisters down there in Chicago Flips Red. Shout out to them because they own point. All that in Cobra and all that shit. If they're not behind Chicago Flips Red, don't listen to nothing they got to say. But now the white man here has to hold Brandon Johnson accountable and basically call him out like, bro, all these black people got you elected. Now you're selling them out for a bunch of illegal Hispanic immigrants on behalf of the Hispanics down in Little Village who think you a GD just because you black and want to gangbang on you. And this is the worst part. Happened in my city. It's going to happen in Chicago. Once, if he's successful in bringing all these illegal immigrants into Chicago or keeping them there, all that's going to happen is he's going to eventually just get voted out and replaced with a Hispanic person. That's exactly what's going to happen. Happens in every city that Hispanic people operate in mass. Happened in my city. I live in Long Beach. Lots of Cambodians. Black Negro D. Andrews helping them over the black community, doing more for them than the black community. Soon as they got their foot in the city, they voted his ass out and put in a Cambodian lady. That's what they do. That's what immigrants do. And I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. I'm just saying you shouldn't be a fool to not do it too.
One executive order from Chicago's mayor is laying the groundwork for the state to prosecute federal immigration agents if they break the law. WGN's Courtney Spinelli has details.
This order is a step towards making sure that Chicago is prepared.
On the heels of Mayor Brandon Johnson putting pen to paper, signing an executive order titled ICE on Notice, a whiplash of feedback. Organizations like the NAACP throwing their support behind it, while the union representing Chicago officers calls it a political bluster from City Hall. To be clear, the executive order does not direct CPD to arrest federal agents.
Now listen, did you hear who's supporting it? Did you hear who's supporting it? Oh, NAACP is throwing their support behind it. So the NAACP, that's supposed to be for you. That's supposed to be for you, right? The NAACP is now supporting Brandon Johnson in his attempt to deter ICE agents from removing the illegal immigrants who disproportionately affect you, black folks, in a negative way from the country. Shouldn't the NAACP be like, yeah, we need to get them out because the legal citizens of color are being negatively impacted by their presence? Shouldn't the NAACP be on your side? But like somebody told me a long time ago, how can you be loyal to a group of people who's not even loyal to themselves? How can you be loyal to a group of people that is not even loyal to themselves? You sell yourself out every freaking day and then say, well, why do politicians selling us out? Because they're watching you. They're watching your behavior. They're watching what you do. And they're saying, we're not going to do nothing for them that they're not willing to do for themselves. They're watching you. They're watching you making TikTok videos and Instagram videos. Oh, yeah, Trump is a racist. And why is ICE going here and get rid of Mexicans? And these are people with family and we need to be on the street. And they said, oh, so they want to get fucked over. Oh, so they want to lose their position to illegal immigrants. Oh, so they're okay with continuing to be at the bottom of the barrel in American society. And then they just operate accordingly. You show them how you want to be treated. You show these politicians how you want to be treated. By doing stuff and saying stuff like what goofy ass Amos Kalumba said. Well, what about Trump? What about him? What about him? Because can't none of y'all tell me nothing that Trump is doing that's hurting me. No, none of you guys can tell me anything that Trump is doing that's hurting you. Maybe Trump's hurting your feelings. Feelings, that's it. But what is he doing that physically impacts your ability to take care of you and your family? Nothing. If anything, Trump is creating an environment that's conducive to you being able to take care of your family and have prosperity. But you don't care about that because it's all about feelings and trying to make people think that somehow you're more moral than they are. Nah, no one's ever going to think that about black people because they look at the way we treat each other and they know exactly how too many of us think.
federal government will not hold these rogue actors accountable, then Chicago will do everything in our power to bring these agents to justice.
Johnson alleges recent shootings in Chicago and Minneapolis show a pattern where federal agencies have operated with inadequate oversight, limited transparency, and near total isolation from a meaningful review. One example in the executive order, a shooting in Franklin Park, where an immigration agent shot and killed Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. DHS accused him of dragging an agent attempting to arrest him, but more than 4 months later has not updated the public or followed open records law to share any information on its investigation into use of deadly force.
This is Mayor Johnson trying
on its investigation into use of open records law to share.
I wanted to rewind that real quick because I want y'all to see what kind of flag they waving out there. Are they waving an RGB flag? I mean, RBG flag? Are they waving some African flag from some African country? Are they waving an FBA flag? No, they're waving a Mexican flag. They're saying, no, you should let us come and take over your community and displace you. Why? Because we better than you. We're better than you. And why are we better than you? Because we're smart enough to not fight for the very thing that's going to hurt us. You guys aren't even smart enough to not vote for the people who want to replace you. That's why they look down on you. That's why they look at you like you ain't shit. It's your actions, the things you do that are self-destructive to you. Self-destructive to your children, self-destructive to your abuela, right? Just to put some Mexican in there. Why would anyone respect you? You mad? Oh, Trump's a racist. I don't even think it's racism. I think it's just a general lack of respect. And all these different groups of people have that for Black people, including but not limited to some African communities. It ain't because they just don't like you. But you can't help but look and be disgusted at a group of people who literally destroy themselves and then try to blame it on everybody else. You got 2 feet just like everybody else. You got 24 hours in a day just like everybody else. You could walk in that voting booth and vote for in your own best interest just like everybody else. But for some reason, we refuse to do it.
Any information on its investigation into use of deadly force.
This is Mayor Johnson trying to, in some ways, get ahead or perhaps level the playing field a little bit by saying we are going to keep an eye on the practices that ICE and Border Patrol are exercising here in our city and our state.
WGN-TV political and legal analyst Paul Lisnek reviewing the executive order, weighing in on what it means and the potential implications.
What are the teeth that it has? Well, it's basically instructing the local prosecutors here to say, be on the scene, get the evidence you need to get and do what you need to do. It will not prevent challenges from the federal government in any way to try and stop things along the way.
Weeks before Johnson's executive order, DHS sharing an old clip of top President Trump advisor Stephen Miller telling officers they have federal immunity in the conduct of their duties.
Let's be clear, they do not have complete immunity in these situations. There is accountability for them.
Lisnek says the critical piece will be having access to things that constitute evidence of potential wrongdoing, like body-worn camera video from federal agents, currently at the center of a debate in Washington.
What it will set up will be an incredible battle between federal entities and local entities. We've seen them in Minnesota. We would see them here in that kind of case.
Now, Chicago police officials will have 30 days to develop a policy to implement the executive order. CPD leadership hasn't commented on it at this time. However, DHS has.
So now, let me just make this clear for you. So now, Black Chicagoans are in a situation where they can't even pay their property tax, right? Their property tax is so astronomically high, many of these people are basically going to lose their homes. As we've seen the Chicago property tax skyrocket 128% because of Brandon Johnson's failed policies. So while people can't pay their property taxes, Black Chicagoans can't pay their property taxes, the mayor of Chicago is saying, well, that's not an issue that I need to be focused on right now. What I really need to do is I need to be focusing on deterring federal agents from arresting illegal immigrants. And I want you to put 2 and 2 together, right? Oh, you can hear echo? Yeah, because I'm using my phone. Sorry, I'd use my phone. But that's not important to him. That's not what he's saying he needs to be focused on. Instead, he's saying, you know what I need to focus on? I need to focus on deterring. Let me see. How is that? Is that any better? So instead of saying that, he's like, instead of focusing on that, I need to be focused on deterring federal agents from arresting illegal immigrants, right? But let me tell you this. Let's put 2 and 2 together. Why is he so concerned with deterring federal agents from arresting illegal immigrants, but he's not concerned with helping Chicagoans, homeowners, keep their homes? Black homeowners, especially, because that's where the property taxes have gone up the most. Well, it's simple. If you lose your house, he can give that to an illegal immigrant. As a matter of fact, during the influx of illegal immigrants into Chicago, we saw that there were actually illegals who were buying homes. They were buying homes. Oh, I'm not doing it on the phone. I'm talking through my phone. They were actually buying. They were buying homes, right? So this is the trick. This is the rub. This is where you're getting screwed. They want you out. They want you out, and they're gonna figure out a way to give your home to an illegal immigrant for a little bit of nothing, right? And then they're going to work with them to get the property taxes lower, and they will have a Democrat voter for life. That's what they're doing. Hold on one second, guys. That is exactly what they're doing. But nobody wants to put 2 and 2 together. And I know my own people. I know black folks sometimes we don't want to say something out loud because it's just too hard to accept. But it's time that we're at the point where we need to start saying stuff out loud. Sitting up, talking about, oh, it don't even matter who you vote for and all this nonsense we've been saying for our whole life. Clearly it does. And I'm telling you, you are in the find out stage of F around and find out as black folks. Black folks been using that tired ass excuse. It don't matter who you vote for. We've been using that shit for 50 years. And now we're seeing that it does, because now who you vote for is literally affecting you as soon as you vote for them. If you look at situations like what happened in Virginia. Hold on one second. Okay, so what I could do is, if you guys are getting too much of an echo, I could change this. Is that better? I'm just trying to make sure you guys aren't getting too much of a crazy echo. Let me know if you like that sound better in the comments. I'm looking at the comments right now. Do you guys like this audio sound better? And I can listen to it myself. Okay, audio's good? Audio's fine? Okay, cool.
This order is a step toward.
Hold on. It don't matter who you vote for. We've been using that shit for 50 years. And now we're seeing that it does, because now who you vote for. Okay, so yeah, so now who you're voting for, it's affecting you in real time. And only a fool would keep on doing something that's hurting them. And the worst part about black folks right now, they can't even explain to you why they're doing it. You know when a black person uses, oh, because this other person is racist, you know they're totally out of excuses. You know we're totally out of excuses. Politics is a lot like sports, right? And black people, when we want to, we're good at politics, when we want to be. But we're really good at sports, right? But here's the thing. When black folks lose in sports, if there's even one white person on the other team, a lot of black folks are going to say, oh, they racist, that's why we lost, because we don't have no other excuse. We don't have no other reason. Or the real reason is too embarrassing for us to admit. And that's basically what we're doing with our politics. We're going so low as to now we're trying to use racism again as the reason why we're going to throw our communities away. Oh, because they're racist. I'm going to put the link in the comments if y'all want to come up and chop it up on this topic right here. We could chop it up for a little bit, and then I'll move on to some other topics. Let me get this link here, because I want you guys to have something to say about this. Until then, let me get my super chat. Brandon, progressives can admit that their own policies are the problem. They also can admit that reversal of progress will actually enable such. 100%. 100%. Black community is being led right now by a bunch of losers like Zohran Mamdani and white liberal females who are basically like, life is too hard. I don't want to work for what I want, and I want somebody to give it to me. But see, here's the difference. They pump out those nonsense narratives because they benefit from it financially. Zohran Mamdani then just got a check for being mayor of New York, one of the richest cities of the world, if not the richest, right? He's benefiting in a financial way from those horrible policies and just saying nonsense. Please tell me how you're benefiting from that. Please tell me. Because from what I'm reading, New York is effed. New York is totally jacked now that they've elected this guy into office. He went from free buses to bus fares are about to skyrocket. And now they're about to start doing something where they're going to force you to pay the train fare and the bus fare. They're about to have people who like stand down there in the tunnels and stuff and make sure you pay your fare. Make it make sense when this guy was telling you that everything was going to be free. But it doesn't make sense. But instead, when people like me just speak the truth, when people like me just come with the real, I get attacked. We're mad at you because you're hurting our feelings and we don't want to accept what you're saying. Where's that going to get you in the long run? How is that going to help you in the long run? It's not. You're just going to end up losing and then looking around for someone to point the finger at. It's very pathetic. Shaka Zulu. What up, my brother? You got some input on this one?
I got a lot of input. What's good? How you doing, man?
I'm real good. Let's keep it concise, my brother.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a little feedback here.
Hold on 1 second. Talk now.
Yeah. You get me? Yeah, I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Well, I still got the feedback, but you on point though, man. But this is like par for the course, man. It's like Negroes is like need to be studied in the museum. You know what I'm saying? They need to crack our brains open, put us on display, and study our brains, because I ain't never seen a race of people that make the same mistake over and over again for the last 2,000 years, man. How do you do that, man? I mean, Whether you disagree with Claude Edison or what, he spoke about it. Whether you agree with Dr. Amos Wilson or not, he spoke about it. Everybody spoke about it, man. You know what I'm saying? What is black people's lust with everybody else but themselves, man? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take a rocket science to see this, but like you said, how do we keep voting in these politicians? I don't know if it's like because we're led by a matriarchal community, so we gotta go along and get along with the women, and I don't know if it's because the men are just dust heads and they just coked out, smoked out, doped out. That I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I'm 50 years old, man, but I'm about to call it a day, man, because I don't know how we gonna come up out of this, man. If you can actually cater for damn near 25 something million Hispanics that's whooping your ass, they done whooped your ass from LA, they whooping your ass in Chicago, and soon they gonna be whooping our ass in New York. And you know what I'm saying? Once the North gets under control, down south is gonna be a wrap. So I don't know, man. I don't know how this gonna shake out, man. But it's either we just gonna have to like start like eliminating these politicians some way or somehow. But Brandon Johnson, you know what I'm saying, he got a nerve to sign an executive order with a whole bunch of Hispanic women around him, Native American women around him, and you got two buck dancing black Negroes in the background clapping. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised black folks ain't out there protecting ICE, man. You know what I'm saying? Black folks should be protecting ICE all over the nation, man. You know what I'm saying? Put these liberals on their back feet like, yo, listen, man. I know y'all like the cheap labor or whatever because we ain't doing it for y'all no more, but, yo, that shit is affecting us, man. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about necessarily the black immigrants because they ain't got nothing to do with this, man. I'm talking about the damn Hispanics, man, because they the most racist on the goddamn planet, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a flip about what community you represent. They don't care about how long you've been in the community. They just here to take over, man. And that's some gangster shit, man. But I don't know. I guess they done took all the gangs out of us, man. I don't know, man. That's all I gotta say, yo. Bro, you there?
I had to grab something across the room real quick. I jumped up to grab something and I had to run across and bust my ass. But no, you're 100% right. I mean, as Americans, you know, whether you black, blue, or green, you're gonna have to accept these people aren't coming over here.
But let me. Do you know what's kind of stayed in New York? Even though New York is kind of backed up for a minute, and this is one reason why Chicago's going down. Notice in Chicago they tore down all the projects, right? So black folks ain't had no choice but to move out of the city and get into the suburbs. The only thing that's saving New York blacks is damn projects, yo. If they tear these projects down in New York, we done.
No, yeah, I believe it. Like, even in Chicago, because I got some family members that live in Chicago. And what's crazy is I have people in Chicago who were living in the projects, family members. And when they tore down the projects, they was like, oh, I guess I'll just go buy a house. I'm like, you could have afforded a house this whole time and you just chose to stay in the projects willingly, dealing with shootings and all types of stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, man, these people are not coming over for the same reasons as immigrants did years back. I love this thing where they say, well, this country is built on the backs of immigrants. One, it's not. Two, those immigrants want to come be a part of America. They understood.
What immigrants are you talking about back in the days, though?
I'm talking about whether it's the Irish immigrants, the Chinese immigrants, it don't matter.
That's a different breed, though. That's a different breed.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's why I'm saying when I hear people say stuff like, oh, this country was built on the backs of immigrants, those people came to have a better life and to be a part of what America represented. These new immigrants is coming over here because they look at Americans like a soft target. They want to come over here and make this shit like Mexico or Venezuela. They look at those Americans like, oh, they're chumps. They so caught up on identity politics. They won't even do what's best for their country as a whole. You don't have to worry about identity politics in Mexico. Let our black asses go to Mexico and try to move over there. They're all going to come together and say, nope, get their ass out. Mexicans was going against the South Americans and the Venezuelans, running their ass up out of Mexico. We're the only country. Go ahead.
All you gotta do is go to South America to see the proof. Because we're the black people in Brazil. We're the black people in Colombia. We're the black people in Honduras and all these other South American countries.
There's a lot of black people.
They did, but they're not in the government.
No, they have no power. They have no power. And that's exactly what's going to happen to black people in America. We are literally fighting to be like places like Brazil, where black people represent a huge part of the population. Brazil has more citizens that are of African descent, black people, than America does. But their people, black people, have no representation in government. We have a lot of representation in government. Well, it's not a lot, actually. That's the thing. But it's like we're doing everything we can to just give it away. What little we do got. All in the name of, oh man, yeah, we got to do the right thing. But the reality is it ain't about the right thing. It's all so that the Democrat Party can stay in power. That is it. And what do we know? I want you guys to understand something. What do we know about the Democrat Party? We know that the Democrat Party, their number one fall guy, when it comes to who goes down who takes the fall for their horrible policies, it's always the black American. Am I wrong, Ant? If you look at these black Americans,
you're absolutely right. Now you got these people up in the uproar talking about Trump is calling Obama's monkeys and all that, man. So what if he calls them monkeys, man? These Spanish people call you monkeys all day long, man. You don't say nothing. You don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Come on, yeah.
Hey, ain't gonna say nothing, ain't gonna do nothing. And I'm gonna talk about that too. But man, the selective outrage, like it's like back when black folks used to trip over stuff, it was cool because we tripped over stuff because we was tripping. Now we only trip if the Democrats tell us to trip. Oh yeah, you're gonna trip over this, but you're not gonna trip over that. They dictate to us what we are offended by. Make that make sense? How does another group of people dictate to you what offends you and what don't offend you? That's my only issue with the whole situation.
And you got these white liberals on TV talking about, oh, ISIS, they're messing with our neighbors. Who exactly? What neighbors are you talking about? You don't care about maybe they do, man. Maybe these white women want to lay up with these Alejandros and Suarez or whatever, man. I don't know, man. But I know they the 5'5" Mexicans, man. They probably in love with the Mexicans on Telemundo, but they ain't in love with the dudes that on the side of the street selling oranges and flowers, man. So I don't know, man. I just think like, I think maybe it's a conspiracy where the liberals, they just like, listen, man, we just had enough of these Negroes, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can just we got a better option with these Spanish people. Maybe we can whip them into place or whatever. I don't know, man.
I think that the age of information, the internet, things like that, I think that is making it very hard to keep black people under control, especially black men. And so I just feel like the Democrat Party is like, hey, we got to bet on somebody else. I also feel like, they also saw that the Hispanics are now split more evenly when it comes to whether they're going to support conservatives or Democrats. And they're like, we need to bring in, because a lot of people say it's to displace the black vote, but a lot of it is to try to get an advantage back among the Latino vote. Because before, the Latinos heavily favored the Democrat Party, but now we're seeing they're leaning more Republican. Now, as the generations have passed, the Hispanics have things now, and they want to keep those things. And so it's like, dude, I get that you want to let illegal immigrants in, but my dad has a construction business. He got 5 trucks now. He came over as an illegal immigrant and got his citizenship. My grandfather came over as an illegal immigrant and got his citizenship. So we have a family construction business now, and we're not trying to get taxed out of existence by these Democrats. That's what the Democrats are fighting against right now. The Democrats have to figure out what they're going to do to either win over or replace the Hispanic voters who have been here for generations. They now have businesses. Their kids are now college graduates, and they want to keep more money in their pocket. They're not just working for peanuts to send remittance back to their country anymore. They're Americans. They're building in America. They're thriving in America, and they're going to continue to do that. In many ways, though, that might be the group of Hispanics that actually saves Black America, because they actually appreciate what they got and want to keep it. While Black Americans are just like, oh, everybody can have a piece. The Hispanics are like, no, I worked hard for this. My family worked hard for this, and I'm not sharing it with you just because some politician wants to redistribute wealth. So it might work out like that, which would be absolutely crazy. But hey, it is what it is.
I mean, I agree, but I kind of think the white man, the European, is overplaying his hand, like he did in California, like he doing in Europe, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, all right, if you look at Europe, right, with this illegal immigration and how they letting all the Islamists come over there, you would think of people that done fought this war already against the same people that damn near conquered Europe, you think they will remember their history. But it's like something with human nature where, you know what I'm saying, if you don't remember your history, you're gonna have to repeat it, man. So I don't know if the European gonna have to like fight this war again against the certain people. But as far as within America, I think if the Spanish speaking people, you know what I'm saying, and it's not gonna be the average Spanish person. It's not gonna be like, you know what I'm saying, because all right, let me give you an example. You got people talking about, oh, America's stolen land. Notice they never talk about Mexico stolen land. They never talk about Colombia stolen land. They never talk about Brazil stolen land. They only say America's stolen land. So you telling me Spanish is your indigenous language? You telling me all these damn Mayans and Aztecs and Peruvians, or what do you call the Peruvians? What the Incas and all that? That's your indigenous language. So that's not stolen land. Only the British. You only got a problem with the British. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about America stolen land. Listen, if these people take power, it's gonna be like it's not gonna be the indigenous people taking power in America. It's just gonna be like the Spaniards all over again. You know what I'm saying? Just like in Canada, man. It ain't the Canada is just white people, but they just speak French. It's just France 2.0 or France 1.5, man. So it's I think the Europeans, the British is overplaying their hand, and they're gonna get suckered out in the end, man. Because once these Spaniards take control, man, they ain't gonna have no place for the gringos, man. The gringos gonna be working on the farms too, man. It ain't just gonna be us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be them too, man.
No, 100%. Man, listen, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but what I know is people love to try to take things that other people have built, right? And the rate we're going, it's looking like the Hispanics in the Spanish-speaking countries, they are on a path where they're trying to take America without firing a single shot. And if they're able to get these students riled up enough, and the old elderly white women riled up enough, hey, who knows? They might actually be able to succeed. But that's the 1 hour mark, and we're going to call it a day. Thank you, my brother.
Let me say, I'm off, man.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I think the Muslims, they might beat the Hispanics to the punch, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'll call it a day, yo.
I mean, the Muslims still got to cross the ocean to get here, so we gonna see, though, for sure. We gonna see. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, so that's the 1 hour mark on that topic. That was our main, our leading topic. But there's some other topics I want to cover, and I'm gonna try to see if I could do a little trick to help my audio situation. I don't know if it will work. I hope it does, but who knows? But I want to talk about this situation that's developing with Don Lemon. Don Lemon was a person who sounded pretty sure of himself when charges were brought up against him by the DOJ. He seemed like he was staunch in his belief that he was operating just as a journalist and that he was not actually one of the protesters who invaded the church in Minnesota, allegedly violating the FACE Act, which is a federal law that prohibits people from blocking access to or out of places of worship, disrupting the services of places of worship, or disrupting the services of abortion clinics. So it was initially made to protect abortion clinics, but the churches and religious institutions were added to it to protect those places. And so now, in my opinion, my personal opinion, it looks like they have Don Lemon dead to rights. It looked like they had him dead to rights two weeks ago. But people were hitting me up, oh, you're wrong, this and that. Don Lemon's a journalist, First Amendment, freedom of the press, all this stuff. But now you have a student who was one of Don Lemon's accomplices who basically was arrested, and bro just started singing. Bro was a canary. He lit, was it a guy? I think it was a guy. But this journalist, this student basically ratted, not even basically, he ratted Don Lemon out. And so it looks like Don Lemon is going to be in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to play this because this is a video that the student allegedly took that has been released all over Twitter, where Don Lemon is saying, after we do this operation, it's going to be all over the news. So if you're talking like that, you're not a journalist, buddy. You're a conspirator. Let's tap in.
Let me do this. I can't see anything on that. That's okay. Side. I got it. Just hit part.
Twitch, we're back.
Sunday morning church.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
After we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, can't tell you where they're going. Okay. So I am going.
After we do these operations, you'll see it live, and we can't tell you where we're going. Bro's a conspirator. He's a conspirator holding a microphone, which makes me think he only held the microphone so he could hide behind this, oh, I'm a journalist crap. What are you talking about after we do this operation? Journalists don't know what's going to happen before it happens. They're there to see what develops and keep track of it in documented.
Going inside now. Where's my phone? I need my phone. Hey, Meta, record. So activists are now in the church. Is what the First Amendment is about the freedom to protest. I'm sure people here don't like it, but protests are not comfortable. And there are people here who are, I'm looking at a young man who's in the corner. He's frightened. He's scared. He's crying. People are leaving church. One of the members who looks to be really upset, a young person. The pastor's trying to calm him down over there. Perhaps they should come in, pray together, and talk together. But anyways, if I were the pastor, I would offer a prayer. I would try to calm things down and say, listen, talk to you. We're all citizens. We're all believers.
Yeah, this, to me, I don't know how you guys see that, but to me, Don Lemon was in on that. He was in on it from the jump. He helped plan it. He helped plot it. And in my opinion, he shouldn't be allowed to skate by with this idea that, oh, I was just there as a journalist. To me, that's not that's not good enough. That's not good enough. No, he was involved.
Also developing this morning, a new federal arrest is drawing attention to what prosecutors say was Don Lemon's role in planning and recording the disturbing protest of demonstrators storming that Minnesota church service. A Temple University student has now surrendered on federal charges, admitting he helped Don Lemon with logistics and local contacts ahead of that anti-ICE protest. Jerome Richardson, a political science senior, turned himself in and is accused of conspiring to interfere with religious worship. Court records and social media posts show Richardson describing himself as assisting Don Lemon in the days leading up to the protest. Lemon, who claims he was just reporting, was arrested last week and released, but prosecutors say this new arrest undercuts that defense, suggesting planning and not just passive coverage. A new investigation reveals the network of anti-ICE agitators across Minneapolis was highly organized, well-funded, and carefully coordinated. The City Journal, which reported the original story about widespread Minnesota fraud last fall, published a new report which states a well-funded network of professional activists arranged and mapped out the demonstrations with a master plan to do the same in other cities. The report exposed one group called Defend the 612, named for the Minneapolis area code. It stated City Journal reviewed Defend the 612's trainings and entered its signal network and traced its organizational support. Our reporting reveals that members and related officials have encouraged protesters to impede law enforcement, pushed civilians toward legally and physically risky confrontations, and helped mobilize a counter-protest that turned violent. The training...
Yeah, so I didn't even know that. I didn't watch that video. I just saw it and I thought it would be good to click. But yeah, so basically one of these students, they got arrested and now they're like, we ratting, we snitching. And that's why I tell people all the time, you out here doing stuff with students and young people, they're not gonna freaking stay down with you and go down for you. They have a whole life ahead of them. And they're not going to jeopardize it because some old fart wants to pretend like he cares about damn illegal immigrants. Don Lemon was a conspirator in that, 100%. And I wish this guy Alan was here, because Alan jumped his ass up here and was like, or was that RF? I think it might have been RF. They sound the same. But he was like, he was just a journalist. He was just documenting. Well, we're seeing he wasn't. Bro, rolling up with people. I mean, Don Lemon was sounding like a gangster. Yeah, once we do this, they gonna learn today. He was sounding like he was talking shit. Is it just me, or was Don Lemon talking shit? Because to me, it sounds like he was talking some big trash. Then when he got arrested, when the rubber met the road, I was just a journalist. I was just a journalist. Like, bro, no one believes that. No one believes you. I never believed him. You just have to be a damn fool to believe that Don Lemon was only operating as a journalist. Bro was up there with the BLM chicks, kissing them and hugging them. Why did Don Lemon fly from New York City to Minnesota? Couldn't Don Lemon just been like, hey, look, I'm going to send somebody, or I got some people on the ground. They're going to document everything. Please let me know. But now, because he knows he's caught dead to rights, right? He's going to start this, oh, this is an attack on the Constitution and all this stuff. No, what Don Lemon did was an attack on the Constitution. What Don Lemon, because you have a freedom of religion in America, and there's a separation of church and state in America. That's by law codified or written in the Constitution. Don Lemon broke that. Don Lemon broke that rule. But it's typical liberal nonsense. Everything we're claiming the other side is doing, we're the ones doing it. Oh, they're violating my constitutional right. No, you were violating the constitutional rights of those people in that church that day, Don. That's who was violating someone's constitutional rights. And I'm here for it. I'm here to see how it plays out. Now, the story with the student who that got arrested, a lot of people haven't jumped on it yet. And that's a good thing, you know, kind of. We're getting a little bit of we're getting a little preview. But I think if this student stays locked in, or if he sticks to what he's saying already, Don Lemon is going to be cooked. Don Lemon is about to be cooked. And I think for the first time in a very long time, you're going to see a journalist go to jail, go to federal prison. He should be indicted. Let me see this. Let me play this video because I just want to get y'all all the clips.
How are you?
Good.
See you. They're getting the operation together again. This is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. There are for this reason it may look like MAGA coded, but there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here. So that is what I could say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But there we go. Everybody's ready to go.
Now, to be fair, he is saying they're, what they are doing. His language does speak to, well, they're the ones doing it. We had to cut our cameras off because they're giving some sensitive information. But then in the car, he's saying when we do this operation, it's going to be all over the news. So it's like the video that I think the student released is showing Don Lemon inserting himself as one of the orchestrators of it. But it wouldn't be too far-fetched to believe that Don Lemon, being a very experienced journalist, knew to speak one way in front of the camera that he was using for a show, and to speak another way on the camera where he didn't know, may have not known he was being recorded. Because it looks to me like they're all using the Meta glasses. So he might not have even known that the student was recording that part where he was like, yeah, once we do this operation. I think Don Lemon is cooked. I could be wrong, but I think he's cooked.
Let's go. Okay. Thank you guys thanks for allowing me to be here. Thank you guys.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us, why are you doing this?
So
this is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show
Nakima
on
Levy
Friday.
Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. We've had a lot of success with the times we have done Operation Pull Up.
Yeah.
After George Floyd was killed, we went to the Police Federation head's home and staged a demonstration there.
Yeah, and that's fine. You're going to the homes. You're doing but you didn't go to their churches. This thing with the church situation is it's basically untested ground. Like, this is good, in my opinion. If we don't get this under control, it could lead to some real violence happening. Because some people just ain't gonna let you roll up in a place of worship, disrupting services and calling yourself, wagging your finger at them. So we're gonna see how this plays out. Don Lemon, this guy, He's playing a stupid game. And you know what they say, when you play stupid games, unfortunately, you tend to win stupid prizes. So that was one of the topics I wanted to react to. Real quick, before we move on, can you guys do me a favor and help me reach my contribution goal? Right now, the goal is 5 super chats of $5 or more. And we are at 1 of 5. So if we could get 4 more super chats of $5 or more, that would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, I'm coming to you live all the way from the beautiful motherland of Africa. But I'm still trying to stay locked in with everybody, still keep track of what's going on in the American political news, and share my thoughts and my opinions with you all. Also, if you do not have super chat ability for whatever reason, at the top of the comments, pinned to the top, we have Cash App and we have PayPal available as donation vehicles as well. And those contributions made via those donation vehicles also count to the 5 super chats of $5. So thank you guys for helping me out with that in advance. Now, I've been following a few stories, and I've been wanting to comment on them, and I'm going to do some short form videos on these things too. But while we're live, why not? Why not talk about it? I want to talk about the situation with Donald Trump and the video that he put up on his Truth Social platform, where it showed a image of Barack and Michelle Obama, their faces on the bodies of monkeys, right? Just to give full disclosure, there's also a image of Joe Biden with his head on the body of a monkey, and his monkey, he's eating a banana, right? But there's outrage over this. There is backlash over this. People are not happy. They're pissed the hell off. They think they're now calling Trump a racist again. Not that they haven't been calling that since the time he was inaugurated, both times. He was a racist in 2016. He continued to be a racist in 2024. So it is what it is. But what I want to do is I want to discuss this. So if you guys want to discuss it, I would love to hear what you have to say. So I'm going to put the link in the comments right now. And when we finish watching the clip and I give my little monologue, my little 30-second or 1 minute monologue on it, if you guys are in the waiting area, I'm gonna bring you up and I want to hear what you have to say. But the point, let's watch the clip and then I'll tell you what I think about this.
First year, we did it in my first year, so it's great. President, will you apologize for their racist video?
All right, President Trump.
The president is now insisting he did not make a mistake after that blatantly racist video was posted on his own social media account. And the president is now claiming that he did not see the part of the video that depicted former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. The president's comments coming after an avalanche of backlash over the video that was posted late Thursday night. But at first, the White House press secretary defended the president's post, saying, "Please stop the fake outrage." But the criticism only grew from there, including from Republican leaders who rarely disagree with President Trump on anything. For instance, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, the Senate's only Black Republican, called Trump's post the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. Congressman Mike Turner of Ohio called the post offensive, heartbreaking, and unacceptable. Then about 12 hours after the video was posted, it was taken down. After that, a White House official told ABC News that a White House staffer erroneously made the post, but Gio, the press secretary, has not walked back her defense of the racist image, and the president is not apologizing.
All right, Selena, thank you so much for your reporting there.
Boy, boy,
is that it was an automatic scroll into a video, which, as you did play, depicted a number of people and animals. Is it silly? Yes. But was it vindictive? And does it classify the president of the United States as a racist? No. And I think if you look at his policies, people in his cabinet, the people who have visited the White House, including Nicki Minaj recently, to call him a racist or to imply that he is one based on that video is very disingenuous and lacking context.
Well, too bad. Because let me tell you something. If you don't want somebody to call you that, then you don't do things like this. He didn't show Biden and everybody else. They just showed the Obama part. So it doesn't matter what it clicks and
But it
scrolls
wasn't.
to.
But they didn't do it on
this
purpose,
is an unforced
Chris, which
error.
is the issue. It is an unforced error, but that's very
what you
different than
say.
being vindictive about it and doing it on purpose. It is an unforced error.
Well, what
It's
good?
very
Give me a
different
good
than
reason.
purposely clipping it to show that.
Yeah, that is what I gathered from it. It was like they were screen recording something, and then as they were screen recording, this other video rolled up, and it had the image of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, so it looked like it was at the end of Trump's video. That's what I gathered initially, but then some people were saying, then I heard them saying that a staffer posted the video, and so I don't really understand where Cuomo is saying like, well, he only showed this part of it. I'm still in the woods about it, like a little bit like uncertain about exactly how it happened. But I do have an opinion on it because I have been doing some research on it. But I want to show you how they talked about this on CNN, the race baiting network of the century.
I guess one thing that is interesting to me is we never heard Biden criticized, and he eulogized a KKK recruiter, Senator Byrd. He said some kind of insane racist things like poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. He didn't want his children growing up in a racial jungle. So
you're talking
he was
about
president.
that's what Byrd said?
No, that was what Biden said. So he was president for 4 years.
Okay, this is
See, and I don't even want to jump the gun, but do you notice how once those black women found out that the actual person who said the racist stuff was Biden, now they have to jump in. They're so ignorant of history, and they're journalists, but they're so ignorant of history, they don't even know the racist things that Democrats have said and done. They're so quick to jump out and call somebody a racist, but they don't even know the history of racist statements made from the White House. I'm going to play that clip again and watch how when she tells them that it was Biden who said it, they're like, wow, that was the other guy knows Biden. Oh, now they got to jump in and attack.
Want his children growing up in a racial jungle. So
you're talking
he was
about
president.
that's what Byrd said?
No, that was what Biden said. So he was president for 4 years.
Okay, this is the problem with American politics.
About that.
Actually, you did. As someone who worked on the Biden campaign, Black people were very critical of what Joe Biden did around the '94 crime bill, and it's
far more recently.
But here's the thing.
He said in that election, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Guess what? And you know what? Joe Biden is not the president anymore, right? And
oh, so and that to me right there, if you're listening to this whole thing unfold, that is my take on this situation. This is a selective outrage situation. Trump does not post videos to social media. So if you see the video posted to social media, the first thing I'm going to think is like, oh yeah, that was clearly someone else, staffer, because I know Donald Trump is calculated as he is. He wouldn't do that. And then I went and watched the video, and the video didn't strike me as racist at all. I do think the Obamas are freaking monkeys to a certain extent because they're just idiots, and Joe Biden too. And if you want to describe them to me as a troop of monkeys, I'll accept that because Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Michelle Obama. And let me tell you why I say I think they're a troop of monkeys. Because Barack Obama went from a person who made it very clear where he stood on illegal immigration. He also did a study that determined that illegal immigration disproportionately impacts the Black community, right? But then we fast forward to 10 years after his, not even 10 years. We fast forward to, we fast forward to 5 years after his presidency, right? After he's like leaving, because he left in 2016. So let's go fast forward to 4 years or 5 years after he leaves office. And now his vice president, Joe Biden, the person who was right under him, is now preaching open borders, opening up the government, allowing an estimated 20 million illegal criminal alien migrants to enter the country. And you go to talk to Obama, I almost called him O'Biden. You go to talk to Obama about that, and it's either radio silence or he's giving you some like company line BS answer saying that it's okay. And you have to wonder, how is there this much disparity in position on illegal immigration between the first Black president of the United States and his vice president? Yeah, that's monkey shit. Where you literally, and I'm not saying he's a monkey as like he's not a human, but as far as just the goofiness of it, just doesn't really make any sense to me. And how the African American people who are disproportionately affected by their seeming flip-flop on illegal immigration are so quick and so willing to just excuse it. Like, are we all of a sudden no longer being negatively impacted by illegal immigration? Is it all okay? Is it all good now? To me, I'm just kind of like, yeah, he's doing goofy shit, goofy stuff. He's doing goofy stuff, and people are like, oh, no, but you call him a monkey and you racist. Do I think Donald Trump is a racist? Well, I'd have to ask Jesse Jackson and Rosa Parks and all these Black folks, Al Sharpton and Shaquille O'Neal and Jennifer Hudson and all these HBCUs he gave all this money to. So Joe Biden, who said racist things blatantly out loud, he's not a racist. You eulogized a Klan member is not racist, right? He's not racist, but Donald Trump, whose staffer posted something that, in my opinion, was absolutely hilarious and done in jest, is all of a sudden a racist. And not that, because let's say they're both racist. You're just mad about one racist, but couldn't care less about the other racist. I don't, as a man, I don't play those kind of games. Which one you want to know? Mine is Robert Garcia from my district. He's a gay dude. He's actually my neighbor. He lives 2 blocks away from me. So that was a stupid question. Somebody's asked me who's my state rep. Robert Garcia, the gay Mexican dude. I'll tell you real quick, not to digress, but not to go off. Robert Garcia is gay. He married a man a couple years back. There's a ice cream store called Long Beach Creamery, and because he was the mayor of Long Beach before he became the state rep, they made a special ice cream for his wedding. And when I tell you that was the best ice cream I ever had in my life, bro, like I think I became a little gay when I ate the ice cream because it was that good. But yeah, I need to hit him up when I see him walking with his husband. I'm going to say, hey, what was the flavor of that ice cream called? And I'm going to see if Long Beach Creamery will make that for me again, because it was absolutely amazing. But I hope that answers your question, buddy. Contribute to the stream. But yeah, so do I think that this is something that's a big deal? No, I think the Democrats are grasping at straws. I think they've been caught time and time again in lies. They really are having a hard time getting past this illegal immigration situation. They're also having a hard time helping people understand why they continue to shut down the government over people who aren't even citizens. Make that make sense? Do you think that when Rodney King got his ass whooped, did the Mexican government shut down in protest? When Tamir Rice got shot, when Trayvon Martin got killed, was there one government on earth that said, we're going to shut down our government and hurt our citizens because those Black Americans are getting treated so bad? No, they didn't. They would never do that. They're not citizens of this country. So why in the hell would we hurt this country to help them? That's the same thing with illegal immigrants. They're not citizens of this country. So why are so many Democrat politicians so willing to shut down your country, which hurts you and your children, in order to help these people who are illegally here? Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. I can't figure it out. And why there are black people. White folks got their reasons. I ain't white. I don't know. And the Mexicans, obviously, them they cousins and shit. I get that. But why are black people defending this party that continues to hurt them in the name of helping illegals? They are illegal. That's the first part. Illegal. They're criminals. That's like me putting my family in a bad position for somebody in jail. I ain't gonna do that. Then you locked up. You're a criminal. Why would you be doing it in your political life? It's just absolutely stupid. But yeah, they're having a hard time. So they're looking for something to swing the emotional pendulum, and they thought they got it with this video that was produced. And Donald Trump refused to apologize, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm glad he refused. We gotta stop apologizing. It was something that was meant to be funny. Maybe it was a tasteless joke. I say a lot of those, but do I think it was something that was inherently racist? No. He was trying to be funny. He's old and he's white. He got old white guy humor. But when I watched the video, I low-key laughed at it. But I, for one, as a black man, am not going to lie to myself or you and tell you that I'm super offended. I didn't care about it either way. What offended me more was white folks in Minnesota calling a federal agent a house nigger with a hard ER. But yet again, let's keep it real. You didn't hear any of that on the news. You didn't hear any. The liberal news never reported that. Black ICE agent called a house NIGGER by a white anti-ICE protester. Not a single liberal media outlet reported it. Not a single black Democrat expressed outrage over it. You didn't even hear from Jasmine Crockett. Am I lying? So that to me says, hey, this is just they picking and choosing. They're not gonna go up against. They're not gonna fight this across the board. They're picking and choosing based on who's saying it. And me personally, and G, I see you in the back. I'm about to bring you up. Me personally, hey, for one, somebody calling me an N-word has never bothered me. I don't care about it in general. But if you are someone who's black, who pretends to be offended by someone saying a word that you've been hearing from infancy, right? You got to be mad every time. And when I hear this, if I'm one of those people, I'm going to get mad.
Like we should rip people apart from their family. Are you a man?
Wow.
Wow, is that a question?
Wow.
Okay. How do you feel about ripping people from their family? Does that feel good?
Fucking house nigger.
Sir, I need to move.
Fucking house nigger, where's your fucking KKK?
What's wrong with you people?
Why are you calling a woman a man?
So the white guy says, your house in hard ER working for the KKK, right? And the white woman next to him hears him say it, and her question is, did you just call a woman a man? So that tells you what the priorities of the left are. They're more concerned with LGBTQ and trans rights and their ability to live in a world and not be offended and abused than they are for black people to live in a world and not be offended and abused. But on what planet am I apologizing? On what planet do you have black people hearing a white man call a black man a house in with a hard ER, and they're just not saying anything about it? I know I reported on it. I made a video about it, but it's just selective. The same people are now so offended that Barack Obama got his face was put on the head of a monkey. No, there is selective outrage. And what I keep telling y'all is what I told y'all last time. The body cam situation has had an overwhelmingly negative impact on the perception of black Americans. Because just with that body cam footage, that alone and the reaction to it, that alone just put the whole world on notice. They don't really care about the N-word. They're just selectively weaponizing that word against people they don't like. That's it. Yeah, I know. What's wrong with my face? Contribute to the stream, Rod and Roll. But what we did is we just proved to the world that we really never cared about the N-word. We never cared about it. We just used it as a weapon to people we don't like. One white guy says the N-word and that's on me. Oh, he cool. He invited to the cookout. Another person said that we don't like. Now we trying to beat them and kill them because they said the N-word. Not gonna work anymore. G, what up, man?
What's going on, B? How you doing?
What up? I'm chilling.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna start off and say, we're gonna start off with the Donald Trump situation, right? These Democrats. If you look at that table you seen on CNN, right? Tell me who you see sitting at that table making all these points defending Sleepy Joe.
All black women.
And all those black women, they look aggressive, they talk aggressive, right? Because they know that us men and the real women, black women, we don't care about that stuff because at the end of the day, it's not true that Donald Trump is a racist. Every time Donald Trump do anything, he sneezed wrong, or he sneezed and he didn't have no tissue in his hand. You get what I'm saying? So it's like anything that he does, these Democrats have a problem with it. And then you see how the lady had the one girl stunned when she said, well, that was the president. He's not president anymore. He's not president because we woke up and realized that this dude right here is the most racist president we've seen in our lifetime. Besides Bill Clinton. You get what I'm saying? He's racist. And all we do is get these feminist women to sit at the table and speak for all black men and women like we down for them. We're not. Stop pushing that narrative out there because it don't work for me. It don't work for nobody else. You get what I'm saying? We not dumb no more. We used to be, but it's the new generation. This is not 1965. We ain't on that type time no more. We calling everybody out for how we see him. You know what I'm saying? And then that monkey suit, Barack Obama is a monkey. And I'm keeping it. I'm black, brother. He is a monkey. Him and Michelle. They can go eat bananas with Joe Biden also because how you going to defend the man that pushed LBGT stuff? He ain't do nothing for black people. He did everything for everyone else except for us. And we supposed to keep defending this dude as if this dude do a lot of stuff for us. He ain't do nothing. Give us cell phones. That's about it. Come on, bro. Like I'm not going to sit here.
That doesn't work half the time.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and put my fist in the air for a dude that never grew up around black people. Grew up around whites. You know what I'm saying? Morgan Freeman said this years ago and everybody ignored it. He said, we'd never have a black president. And Obama's not a black president. He just black-faced it is what I call him. Because everything about him is not for us. It's for everyone else except for the ones that need it the most. You get what I'm saying? He skipped us out of here. So all this is a game. Everything that we see on TV is a game by fake media. The real people like you that's putting it out there every day, putting your life on the line, putting this content out, calling out these idiots, they don't respect you. You get what I'm saying? They'll call you a sellout. But you speaking the truth, brother. You're not how you a sellout when you're exposing all the evilness that's going on, right? And you a sellout because you speaking the facts. We're not brainwashed.
What I learned about the black community is this. On the plantation, the slave was trained to love the master more than he loved himself. So in the minds of black people who mentally are still enslaved, if you place your well-being over the well-being of massa, you, in their eyes, have sold out. So me saying I'm going to vote based on what's best for my family to a coon, that makes me a sellout because I ain't no longer putting massa best interest in front of mine. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. That's what it is. It's just a plantation mindset manifested in our modern day. Like right now, let's give you a prime example. As a black man in America, I am supposed to be outraged over the video with Obama's head on the monkey. Now, we know Trump didn't make that video. We know that video been around since last year in 2025 in October. So the video been around for 5 months. Trump didn't even make the video, right? Nobody was mad about it back then, but they're mad about it now. I'm supposed to be outraged about that. But in reality, I'm more focused on, hey, what I've been doing right now is I have a cousin and a sister who both had kids in 2025, and I have another cousin, she's pregnant right now. And I've been more focused on hitting them up and letting them know about these Trump accounts and how their kids are qualifying for these $1,000 investments and the creation of an investment portfolio for them if they are born during Trump's presidency. As a Black man, that is my priority when it comes to politics, because that's something that directly benefits my family. The Obamas are rich. They good. They looted. And people constantly look at you and say, what you're doing for the community. Well, I'm from the hood, right? And one of the main things that the OGs did and their responsibility was to give the little homies game and teach them how to keep some money up in their pocket, okay? The OGs I grew up with was either going to break you off with something, or they definitely was going to give you, show you the way to go get something, get some money. This is what me as a political OG is doing for y'all. I'm going to show you where the money at, and I'm going to help you figure out how to keep track of it. The goofy's going to tell you to worry about the emotional shit. If you really trying to move forward, you're going to have some money, and you're going to have to be able to manage that money. If you don't understand that yet, there ain't nothing I can do for you. But you defending Barack Obama ain't putting no money in your pocket. It ain't helping your kids. None of that. Barack Obama don't even give a damn about that situation. So you just a chump at that point. So keep going. If you want to. Go ahead, G.
They the ones that's wearing that monkey costume. All the ones that's for Obama, they need to put that monkey costume on, because that's what they act like, a bunch of apes right out there in the zoo for us to watch it. Go to knock on the window and they run up there and look at us and go hide. You know what I'm saying? They the monkeys. Because at the end of the day, like you said, anything that you gotta think like this, anything that Trump does that benefits all Americans, they have to find some way, whether it's the stupid Epstein files, they keep trying to dig and find something on it, right? Every time he do something that's benefiting us, they always got to put that narrative out there, because they know that when this election comes, the midterms, right? Ain't nobody still going to vote for no Democrats. So they trying so hard to find anything they want. But you had 4 years to bring these Epstein files out, and you never did. You get what I'm saying? So don't make it sound like you want them now, because you see that you're losing the momentum and Trump keep exposing you guys and making you look dumb. So you come at the one thing after another. It's the ICE situation, the shooting, that don't work. Then they go and they they come out with that and the monkeys, and then the monkeys don't work. They're gonna come out with something else. They're gonna keep trying to paint a picture that they don't even have a canvas to put the picture on. You got the paintbrush in your hand but no canvas. How you going to draw that picture? You can't even write it on the canvas. So at the end of the day, when I look at the politics, they always using the Black woman, feminist Black women, they're supposed to look educated, right, to speak for all Black, or they use the gay male guy to speak for all Blacks when they're not speaking for me, you, or anybody else in our communities, because I don't see no Democrat. Listen, I'll give you a perfect example, right? I live in Philadelphia, right? We just had a snowstorm. Same thing in New York, right? Democratic ran cities. All they do is talk. But you still got snow on all the streets. It's been a week going on 2 weeks. They ain't even get all the snow up, right? So you vote this woman in as mayor, the first female mayor of Philadelphia, right? And all she does is do what Kamala Harris do. Get up there and just talk. But you don't see nothing. So if people complaining that she's not doing her job, right? And you got Democrat to Democrat, every time a Republican is on the ballot, nobody votes for them. But you want to keep voting Democrats and complain about how bad each mayor is over and over again for years. How dumb can you be? How stupidly can you be? Same thing in California. Garrett Newsom, how stupid can you be to sit there and complain about this dude, but when you got a Republican that's running, you won't pick him? It don't make sense.
At this point, listen, I got a homie. I'm from California. I live in California. I got a homie. He worked with homelessness in a homeless shelter. And I said, man, Gavin Newsom stole all the homeless money. He said, nah, it really was the Republicans. There are no Republicans in California. But that's how their mind is trained. They don't care about the truth. They only care about whether or not they got somebody else to point the finger at and blame. But G, thank you so much. I gotta let you go, bro. I got somebody behind you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Hey, Big Rob, what up, my man?
Yo, what's going on, Brandon?
Man, I'm chilling.
Yes, I keep telling people this. Not one tweet, not one post, none of that is going to change the mind and make me vote Democrat. None of it going to do it. Not one ICE shooting. Trump can sign an executive order and scream the N-word 20 times, and I still won't vote Democrat. That's how emotionally in control I am. Nothing gonna do it. It's all heartstrings. That's all it is. And they ain't gonna give me.
Hey, I'm with you. I am right with you because as a man, bro, and this is why they need females and hyper emotional single mother raised beta males. As a man, when I look at who's the leadership, first thing I say is, how does this affect my family? I don't care what he posted about the Obama family. He could have posted just the Obamas and their kids alone with monkey heads on them. I wouldn't have gave a damn because I am not with bananas sitting on them and eating them for all I care. And guess what? Only thing I'm going to think is this. I do not want my daughter going in the bathroom with a man. I do not want my daughter on a volleyball court with a man dressed up as a woman. I just think about all the crazy shit Democrats. I do not want the state government to have more power over my child than I do. And they can sneak my kid away to another state to get a sex change operation. And I can't do nothing about it. Those things for me are deal breakers. As long as you are talking about those things and you're advocating for that crap, I will never support you or the side you represent. And I hope most Americans feel that way.
We just too emotional. Most of us don't. Too emotional. We looking at the policy. It can be a white man can walk in here right now and call me the N-word. As long as he don't touch me. I'm not gonna risk my life and throw my life away for that.
Right.
We just emotional though. That's pretty much all I had to say. Appreciate it.
Man, hey, you got your head on right. And it's good that more and more black men are thinking like that. You don't let nobody trick you out of your position over some damn words. That's how white people, and not to be racist or nothing, but that's how white people got over on us for years because they knew they could control it. They just were able to control their emotions better than we could. And if you even look at the situations, remember Boondocks? Remember when they was talking about the nigga moment?
Yeah.
Hold on. Guys, I'm seeing if these headphones will help me. Rob, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So remember when they was talking about the nigga moment on the Boondocks? It's that. Yep. Whoever cannot control themselves emotionally is going to be the loser in the end.
Lose every time.
You're going to lose every time. And even in sports, you go crazy and hit somebody, you out of there. I still remember when the Golden State Warriors lost the NBA Finals to the sorry-ass Cavaliers because Draymond Green couldn't freaking keep his damn emotions in check, right? And got booted for 2 games. Like, I will always tell everybody, and that's why they aim at the black woman, because the black woman still refuses to control her emotions because, let's be real, when she lashes out emotionally, she's protected. She can do some crazy shit in the name of emotion, and even white institutions protect her from her own actions. Final thoughts on that?
And look who's running our household.
And look how your son is turning out.
All trickle down.
Like Jamal Bryant.
Yep.
No, seriously. Even me, like with my situation, my wife, bro, some of the stuff she be saying, bro, I literally be like, I couldn't imagine if this person was in a position of authority. And then I look at like women in power and I'm like, they sound just like this crap she be saying. And it just makes me scared, bro. It makes me scared, bro. I be like, whoa, this is crazy. This is crazy. But thank you so much, my brother, for coming up. I appreciate you.
Sir, appreciate it.
All right, guys. So my headphones, I was charging them, and when they connected to the computer as headphones, which is awesome. But I'm gonna try some crazy shit right now and see if I can make these into the mic. So I just connected them as a mic. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like that? Sound better? Because if this is good, this is a game changer for me. So hold on one second. Because I just muted it, but I hear less echo. Hold on a second. Let me see. We're y'all gonna hear what I hear. Yo, Donnie Blitz. Because I just muted it, but I hear less echo. Yeah, for me, it seems to sound like I have it sounds like I have less echo with these headphones as my mic. So y'all let me know what y'all hear, and if it's cool, if it's bad, it's good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, it seems like they're working. They're definitely connected. I wonder if I take this echo cancellation, would that help a little bit more? So I just took off the echo cancel. I wonder if I take this echo cancellation, would that help a little bit more? So I just took off the echo cancel. Yeah, I feel like the headphones are way better. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the headphones are way better because you hear less of what's going on in the room. Give me some feedback, audience people. I'm not even about to argue over it. I'm not fighting nobody over no word. Relaxation therapy, me and you, we are on the same page. Shout out to my boy Donnie. But let me get this real quick, and I got you, Azazel. Let me get this super chat. Relaxation therapies, $4.99. We are 2 out of 5 on our contributions for this show. Help us reach our goal. $5 super chats. And if you can't super chat, hit us in the Cash App or on the PayPal pinned to the top of the chat. This just shows how emotional our country is. They act like he signed a racist executive order. 100%. 100%. And you can call anybody racist. Even black people can be racist. But the difference is, are you a bigot, in my opinion? Are you just every day out trying to hunt down black people, trying to do shit to them? And I just can't say that about Trump. Like, as much as y'all might want me to, I just can't say that because I don't see that. And hold on. But I just can't say that. And me, I'm a man, and a man calls it how he sees it. A man doesn't call it how everyone else wants him to see it. That's what it means to be a man. Your opinion is not, you can be convinced and you can even be swayed, but at least initially, a man is going to use his own brain to determine, to make sense of what he sees and what he experiences. I'm not letting nobody influence me because I know that, especially when it comes to politics, you have a lot of people out here who really have bad intentions. I'm telling you, if you're dependent on the black female to save you politically, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Because I'm not trying to knock black females or anything, but let's be real. Politically speaking, black women are totally selfish. They'll vote for somebody just so they could say, "Oh, that part," and clock it and shit like that. They're not really taking none of this shit seriously. They just voting because they think if they support one side, they'll get the opportunities. And now look at them. They did all that bug dancing, and now look at their employment rate, and they get, they're losing jobs and stuff. And what are the Democrats doing for them? Nothing. The Democrats use black women as a sacrificial lamb to support extremely unpopular ideas. That's what the black woman's usefulness is to the Democrat Party. Go ahead, L.A. Thorne. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up? Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to the chat.
Oh, but it's go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So here's my problem with this whole thing, right? So all my life, I was taught that calling black people monkeys was racist. So now it seems to me just because it's Trump and it's somebody you support, you're not really calling him out. Like I'm not even saying that you should denounce Trump or don't support him or that he's doing a good or bad job. But we just stay on topic with this particular thing. I thought that was racist just because, like I told you earlier, all my life I was taught that calling a black person a monkey was a racist thing. So I don't know how you could say this was not racist based on everything we were taught. Right now, we could go into this other thing or this other point where you could say, "Oh, that's not really racist. We're being too emotional." Blah blah blah. Me personally, I enjoy racial jokes. I don't mind them. Like Mexicans, we get caught stuff all the time, and I don't really care. I think it's funny as long as it's coming like not from a violent place. Like if you're like tripping, then yeah, of course. Like you could call somebody, "Hey, what's up?" and that could be considered a violent act, and somebody could trip on you for saying that, right? Just depends how you say it. But now, just talking about this on a political standpoint and how the media and as a whole, I don't know how you could say this wasn't racist. Like as a whole, as the media, as a country, as the president, there's no way you could say this and say it's not racist, especially because he left it up there for 12 hours, and all you could see was a picture of Obama and Michelle in a monkey suit. And then if it wasn't racist, another point, then I'll let you speak on why, if it wasn't racist, why did he take it down? If it wasn't racist.
Okay. So basically, are you from California? You sound like you from California. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So look, I'm from Cali, right? One thing people understand who live in Cali is this. You could go with the N-word stuff. It's more Asians, even Mexicans call each other the N-word now. Nigga. That's like a term of endearment. They're not doing that because they're racist, right? So I understand that there's context to everything. I too believe that there are funny jokes that are racial, like the Mexican got on boots jokes and stuff. And so if someone says a joke about black people, I'm not gonna get offended by that because I'm gonna laugh at a joke said about Mexicans that's racist, and I'm okay if they laugh at me with a joke about blacks that is racist, right? That's fine. So I don't play those stupid games. I'm a grown man. I know someone's intent when they say and do something. And ultimately, you live in America. You have a freedom of speech. As long as you don't touch me, that's fine. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late to dinner. And when we were young, we learned, look, man, words don't mean shit. If you from the hood like me, you can let somebody talk all day. What they gonna do about it? That's what matters. So I don't get caught up on that little sauce shit. But with the Obama thing, I don't think that's racist on Trump's part because one, they also had Joe Biden's head on a monkey eating a banana. They also had freaking
Right, but let me just say this. Yeah, but that's not a stereotype for white people.
That's not a stereotype.
We're not talking about me and you here, right? We're talking. That's why I said the majority of people in the majority of America that they view this as a racist thing, right?
I don't think the majority of America believes that. I think that the people who benefit from trying to make everything racist, they're the ones who are using this as a weapon. For one, Donald Trump didn't make this video, and this is all I'm telling you. The video has been out since since October of 2025.
No, but he posted it though, right? It was on his account, his Twitter account or whatever, Truth Social.
But my question is, it's been on the internet for 6 months. Why wasn't it racist then? Obama is still Obama, so why wasn't it called out like, hey, someone made a racist video of Obama?
No, well, there's a bunch of race. If you look for it, there's a bunch of racist shit on the internet about everyone, about every ethnic group. But it's that's not the point. The point is that you're not gonna post it. Like I feel right. If I had a government job or a news job and I posted that video, I feel like I could get fired for posting that video. That the same thing that Trump did. I feel like me myself, I would get in a lot of trouble for posting that.
And me personally, if I was your boss, I wouldn't fire you because I would say I don't feel like what he did was racist. If he
Ah,
thinks
come
that,
on, Brandon. See, this is where
bro,
you're losing me, bro.
bro,
I like your debate. I like your points, but just on this specific, bro, you can't give Donald a pass on this one. And look,
as
Trump has done a lot of great things: the economy, the border, the like whatever. But just on this topic, he fucked up, bro. We just gotta admit that. But hey, and it's all right though. I'm not saying we should impeach him or anything like that. He fucked up. He should just apologize, and that's it.
listen, what I'll tell you is this. In the name of politics, yes, it was a misstep because it could hurt you politically. But in the name of like, am I offended and do I think other people should be offended? No, because Donald Trump, literally, no one gets crack jokes on more than Donald Trump. No one gets more racial slurs thrown at them from black people than Donald Trump. So my thing is like, you guys interact with Trump in a racist way. So when he puts something that you perceive to be racist, you're all up in arms about it. All I'm saying is this:
Yeah,
me
but
personally,
you don't think that he should be above that because he's the president? Like, there's levels to this, right? Like me and you, we could probably crack jokes, right? But like, if
I
you're
don't.
in a certain position, like let's say you're like the main guy at CNN, you can't fucking post shit like that. Like, there's certain people that hold certain positions that they're not able to get away with certain shit. We say this all the time. Like athletes can they have to be aware of their surroundings and how they conduct themselves more than any other people because they're not normal people. Neither is the president of the United States. Will you agree with that?
I would agree with you 100%. But my thing is this: if this is enough for us to tell Trump something, well then why didn't Biden have to do anything when they found cocaine in the White House? Like
that's
that's
not
what,
that's not the point right
bro,
now.
bro, but that's worse. That's all I'm saying. Like me personally, I'm not offended if I'm Trump's campaign manager or if I'm one of his advisors. Hey, bro, you got to
Or
take.
are you personally about how about the collective, like as the blacks as a collective? Do you think that they're offended by it?
No, not at all. I do one
So
thing I
what?
think
So
about.
why did the only? Well, I don't know if he's the only one, but a senator. He's a Republican. He's a Trumper. He's a MAGA guy. Why did he went out and said that was racist and that post should be taken down? If you say no,
Honestly, if you ask me, I think Trump hit Tim Scott up and told him to say that because like I think it gives a sense of like accountability. Oh, okay, the blacks within the Republican Party did say something to him. They did low key kind of check him. They let him know it's not cool. It's just like if you from a hood, right, bro?
no, yeah.
You might not let one dude put it. You might not let somebody from another hood put hands on your homie, but you'll say, "Hey, you'll check them and be like, we took care of it. Like y'all not touching, but we gonna do." That's what I feel like it was. And even if you didn't really have a problem with what your homie did, you'll just make it look like you said something to him about it, and then it goes on business as usual. That's what I feel Tim Scott was doing. Honestly, if I'm thinking about it,
So based on that, and based on your response, I think that the blacks as a whole, I think they were offended by it. Then, if not, nothing would have happened. He would have never taken the post down. So I think they were offended by it.
what I think
Listen,
is he.
all right, do you follow Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah.
So he's a pretty center guy. I like his opinions because he talks shit to Democrats and Republicans. Me myself, I view myself in that. I think I'm a center guy. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'll vote like for whoever. So Stephen A. being a center guy, he was offended by it, and he thought it was unsensitive.
Stephen A. is not in the center. Stephen A. is a liberal. Stephen A. just
Nah,
understands
come
that.
on, bro. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah, bro, if you could list everything bad about Kamala Harris and vote for her, you ain't in the center. If I could list 100 bad things about Trump and be like, yeah, but I'm still gonna vote for him, I'm not in the center. I am a leftist. I can see things from the other perspective. That's what is going on with Stephen A. Smith. He's a leftist, but he understands that he brings a bigger crowd if he stays in the middle. So he plays the middle really well, but he's not in the middle. Stephen A. has never voted for a Republican.
Well, I mean, I can't read his mind, so I mean, I don't know about that, but just based on his podcast, political. I mean, I don't like his sports takes. I think they're garbage. So I don't listen to him for the sports. But as far as political topics and his stance, he's been pretty centered to me. Now, what's the reason behind that? That's another story. But just
I like what he says, but what I'll say, see, this is just the thing. Everyone knows their own people. And when I tell you that there ain't a single black person on earth who's truly offended by that, I'm being real with you, bro. Black people have learned to weaponize fake outrage, whether it's racism or anything else. Bro, like I just told you in California, if black people are truly offended by racism and the N-word and all that, why are we going to war with Hispanics who say it? Why are we going to war with Cambodians and Asians who say it? Black people will sit in there and say it to people of other races and let them call them the N-word. But let it be that one guy he doesn't like. Now, when he says it, he has an excuse to do something about it. There was no, for me, as the representative of all black people on earth today, I'm telling you, there is not a single black person on earth who was offended by that picture. And number two, because most black people fuck with
fair
Obama.
enough. I mean, like, yeah. You're black, so obviously I'm not gonna tell you guys how to feel. But my only
most black people don't even feel like Obama was a truly black president. He was a tether. He was like a black who ain't really black. So we bash Barack all day. So now we're going to turn around and say, oh, but we're so offended by that. If that's the case, why aren't they offended by the shit that Tariq Nasheed says about black immigrants? It's just lies, bro. Just don't believe that. I get what we say on the internet, but we move around the goalpost all day. So yeah, don't believe that. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish up.
No, that was my thing. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I know how you guys feel, but my like I said in the beginning, I was always taught that was a racist thing. So, but now hearing your perspective, I feel you. But anyways, one more thing, bro. I have to get on you with. Last time you said that that 50-year mortgage was a good idea and blah blah blah, bro. Every single expert has came out and said that was the dumbest idea ever. So come on, bro. You gotta call out. You have to call out Trump when he's on bullshit, bro. That 50-year loan was that was the dumbest idea ever. And I said it. I didn't hit the link, but I was on your comments saying, "Come on, bro. That's the dumbest shit ever." And you were trying to defend that too.
I honestly don't think it's a bad idea because I know people who have less than stellar credit who will drag out a loan just so they can get something they want. Bro, we live in the hood. Like, we from the hood. How many people you know driving around with a 35% interest rate on a used car, right? But guess what? I can't knock him because that's what he could afford and he got what he wanted. So my thing is this. I don't care about 50-year mortgages. All I'm saying is it's always good to have more options. I literally don't care if you do have the 50-year mortgage. I'm not saying it's a great idea, but I say more options is always a good idea. Hell, give them a 45-year mortgage, give them a 40-year mortgage. And especially if we could do something with the interest rates, which I think anything is negotiable. I think it is something that could be used to someone's advantage. But everything is negotiable. If someone says, hey, I'm going to give you a 50-year mortgage with a 2% interest rate, now you're talking. I'm going to give you a 40-year mortgage with a 2.5% interest rate. That's way better than a 30-year mortgage with an 8% interest rate, don't you think?
Well, yeah, but I mean, interest rate that's based on that's based on the what's it called on the economy and the feds and all that. So that's like a different thing. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, Brandon. Hey, bro, you do know people.
I'm gonna say this last thing, and I'm with you, but no one can criticize a 50-year mortgage while simultaneously believing that it's a good idea to import a bunch of illegal immigrants into the country who drive up the cost of homes, apartments, rent, and everything. The illegal immigration plays a big part in the.
Other big CEOs like Fannie Mae and all them, they said that was a dumb idea and no bank would ever underwrite that loan. So it is what it is. But anyways, Brandon, people are going to be on your ass, Brandon, for not calling out Trump. They're going to call you all kinds of names, Brandon. They're going to be on you, Brandon.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Drive safe. All right, guys. Thanks to Rotten Roll. Appreciate that, my brother, for the $10 holler in the PayPal. And thank you to, I'm going to just call you JG, man. I think that's G who's up here. Shout out to him for the $5 holler in the PayPal. I think that puts us at our goal because that's 5. That's 15. And then we have the 2 more. So I think that puts us at our goal. But guys, listen, man, these are some great takes. I love the audience that I'm bringing in now. I prefer to have 30 or 40 people, who are knowledgeable, really think this stuff through, and really care about what's going on, than to have a million people who are just mindless zombies who don't care about stuff either way. What you talking about, Chin Speed? Hey, Brandon, your mother can curse you out, call you all kinds of names, but you're not letting nobody else do that. You can curse your mother out, but we're not letting no one else curse your mother out. 100%. That's fine, I guess. I mean, I don't know what you mean by that, but all right. But Powell is not lowering interest rates. Trump is trying to get people to have ownership. No, 100%. 100%. Yeah, he's not gonna lower interest rates. And you want me to tell you something? Even if you got a 50-year mortgage, if you got it, it's yours. You own it. Your family can pay it off, whatever, but it's a huge investment. And let me tell you, if you get a 50-year mortgage, man, you know what's so crazy? I feel where Trump's going on that 50-year mortgage thing. The more I think about it, the more I just sit down and think about it. Imagine if you buy a house, right, for $100,000, right? But you get a 50-year mortgage with a decent interest rate. Let's say your interest rate is 3 or 4%. And then over time, over 40 or 30 years, that house goes up from being worth $100,000 to like $2 million. You know how much freaking equity you have in that house? Like, let's be real. Because if you look at like people who bought homes in like the 90s for like $300,000, and now those homes are worth $1 million, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And we know that over time, 99% of the time, over time, assets increase in value. I'm sorry. If I get my name on the deed to where I get to cash out on it when I want to, I might be looking at that, bro. I might take it. I don't know. But like I said, options, the more options to me is always better, no matter what. Listen, these white boys is too bold. Even if it was cool with them saying the N-word, imagine them saying it to our elderly black people. Imagine them ranking and walking up to your grandma like, hey, at the end of the day, I think, Azazel, I think you're going a little extra with it. Whether it's cool or not, it's not a crime for them to say that. And also, imagine back in the day when white folks, Klansmen, used to say all types of stuff to black folks, old and young alike, and black folks didn't do shit. So we don't have to imagine it because it actually happened. The thing is, the point is, don't let nobody rule you with emotions and reactionary thinking. Because normally, if they're doing that or they're attempting that, they are trying to exploit you in some way. And we've been getting exploited for lack of control of our emotions for too long. And I'm just sick of it, honestly. But guys, listen, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go enjoy some of this African weather right now. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I appreciate you and everything you do for this channel. Nah, Brandon, you in here. I see you, bro. I'm reading it. I appreciate everything you do for me in this channel. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. I'll still let you come up here and speak your piece. And we're not like a racist channel. Any race is welcome to come up here and give your opinion, and I'll listen to you and give my opinion. I like that kind of back and forth debate. What the hell is going on with this mosquito? That's one thing about Africa, boy. You definitely gonna have mosquitoes. But so Trump is trying to figure out a way around it. 100%. Oh, let's see what sticks and stuff. Shout out to my brothers, Sucker Season LA. One of the only reasons Trump even entertained the thought of 50-year mortgage is because Powell is not lowering the interest rates, even though the economy is going good. So Trump is trying to figure out a way around it. Hey, listen, Trump is working. That's what I'm going to say. That man is working for sure. Hardest working president ever, besides probably George Washington. He figuring shit out in real time, not just pushing papers and, kissing babies. You can't be mad at that. But thank y'all so much for everything you do for me and this channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other. And I'll be back with you with some more videos. Peace.